Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well. I am beyond excited for this video. It's been a while since I've made a silicone mould. Let's Resin have sent me some of their silicone rubber and I'm going to make my own mould from scratch and I'm going to show you how I did it. Let's go. Silicone Let's Resin have sent me will be linked in the description box below. Now, some of you may know that I became a Let's Resin affiliate a while back and they've sent me some beautiful molds and now they've sent me some silicone and I'm so excited. It comes in a two-part, part A, part B, 1:1 ratio, which is what I love, and it's measurable by weight. It's not toxic, there's no odour at all, and this is voice over Claire. I've used it now and I promise you there's no odour. I'm actually using these miniature blocks. Now these are part of a block game. I got these from the pound shop a solid year or two ago. They are teeny tiny little wooden blocks. Now they all are a little bit rough around the edges, they're all a little bit kind of misshaped and none of them really are the same size. Because, you know, pound shop is okay though. I'm going to just sand the edges down because the ends are quite rough. And it wasn't until kind of after I sanded them that I then covered them in tape. But at this point I was simply sanding them to make them smoother. I'm going to be using some of this plastic board to make my actual mould, the vessel that everything's going to go into. So I'm going to be linking this down below as well, and I just used my craft knife to cut around a square, pretty much big enough but not too big. I don't want to waste too much silicone, and then I created 4 walls to go around the piece. So you can see here this is going to be the base, and then I just used my craft knife to slice it. You slice it and snap it. It's a really cool plastic board just to create, but I will talk more about that in a moment. So here are all the wooden blocks. Now, I have sanded the ends a bit smoother, but it was at this point I thought, if I want my resin to be shiny, my mould needs to be shiny. It won't be shiny if I just mould the wood. So I went ahead and I covered every single wooden block. This was time consuming, but so worth it. I covered every single wooden block in tape. Now this is optional, but like I said, if you have a matte mould, your resin will be matte. So the only way to get shiny resin without top coating is to have a shiny mould. Therefore you have to mould something that is shiny. I hope I'm making sense here, but yeah. Can I also just point out, I am not a professional mould maker, so of course there are easier ways to do this and I will talk about that also. But here are the blocks. I've also covered the ends, and once I had them all done, it was time to assemble this piece here. My plan was to use my packing tape. This is really cheap from Amazon packing tape. I wrapped this board with the tape so that it was sticky side up. That enabled me to stick down all of my wooden pieces that were already covered in sellotape. They stuck like a dream. Would I do things better? I would. The thing is, I'm using what I have to hand. I don't have all of the things that would make mould making a lot easier and a lot smoother. You can get this beautiful, it's like a bluey green colour, proper tape for when you make moulds. It comes in a really thick, kind of wide, fat roll. I don't have any, so I'm just using what I have in the house right now because I just want you guys to know that it's doable and it's possible with the equipment that you already have. And I already have sellotape. Am I going to invest in some of this gorgeous blue proper tape? Yeah, not today though, not today. Once I've stuck all my blocks down, I'm actually going over with a professional wiper, which is my sleeve, to get rid of any fingerprints. The one thing to know is, whatever you are moulding, if you leave fingerprints that are not visible to yourself, the silicone will pick them up, which means any future projects will have your fingerprint in there. So just make sure that whatever you've placed down in your mould is clean. You can use alcohol if you want. I just literally used the end of my sleeve. Now my nails, by the way, are destroyed at this point. I've been using so much Jesmonite lately. My nails are destroyed. It's dried out my hands, so just ignore that. Here I am building up the walls. Now again, there is an easier method. Like I said, if you use the proper tape, it will halve the amount of time spent on this project, but When do I do things easily? I don't. I've just put the 4 walls up. Now at this point, all I do is wrap some sellotape on each corner. So I just get a little bit of tape and I tape up all 4 corners just to kind of keep it in place, as you see me doing here. Then I wrap tape around the entire edge so that they are solid, they are truly stuck in place. This is when I put the edge back on a bed of sellotape. So I've laid sellotape out on my desk, sticky side up. I've placed the base down onto the sticky sellotape. I've put my wall down around my piece. And now I'm gonna bring up the sides of that tape up around the sides. That is it. That's my mould done. I'm going to use my craft knife to cut all the edges off. And now I have a really secure base, and bringing the tape up over the sides is going to make sure that if any silicone does try to escape, it's not going to escape out onto my surfaces, because this is well and truly taped up. You really want to tape it. I really wasn't sure how much silicone to use, so I actually used half of each bottle. So I just kept on pouring until I was kind of eyeballing it, looking at my piece and looking at the silicone in the cup, thinking, will that be enough? It has such a long work time, this silicone, and you can stir it for around about 5 minutes, but because it has a solid 40 to 50 minute work time, I stirred it for 10 minutes. I figured you cannot go wrong extra stirring so that I make sure both parts A and B have been combined. Then you want to pour your silicone from really high up. I'm pouring from around 3 feet. I know I'm dramatic, that's excessive, okay? It doesn't have to be 3 feet, but I just wanted to do it. I'm pouring it from really high up. This is going to reduce any air bubbles as it hits that surface. It's going to blow out any air bubbles that are trapped in there. And it was really interesting to watch. After I poured, all of the air bubbles were kind of gently rising to the surface. This is a bubble-free silicone as well, and I truly found it to be that way. After I finished pouring, I realised I had made pretty much bang on what I needed. I could have got away with less, I hasten to add. This is 8 hours later. 8 hours. Now it has a cure time, I think it says between 7, 8, 9 hours to 12, 13 hours. But my room was kind of warm, and I think, yeah, after 8 hours, it was ready to go. I was actually going to leave it overnight, but you know me, I couldn't. I had to get on it there and then. I'm just using my craft knife to cut the tape at all 4 corners. You can pretty much see that here. And then it just released from this plastic boarding. Everything is going to be linked below. Everything except the wooden blocks. That would be down to you and your nearest pound shop or Amazon or wherever. If I find them on Amazon, actually, I will link them, because they have turned out, oh my gosh, I cannot even. I was so excited. Demolding, look how cute this is. Cute. I meant to say crisp. Crisp and clean. It's so crisp and clean. And the beautiful thing about this plastic board is that silicone doesn't stick to it. And of course you have to go easy when you're peeling back, but I'm nervous. I'm not a mould maker, so I've only really made 4 or 5 moulds in my entire time on YouTube. So again, there's a lot of improvement to be made here. There is a lot of improvement to be made. Peel it away real slow, and then all of a sudden it just all released and just came away. The best part about this is that when I peeled the silicone back gently, all of the blocks, because the blocks were covered in tape and they were stuck to tape, that tape is way stronger, and it just kept all of the blocks in place. And oh my gosh, how gorgeous is this? Yes, there's lines from the tape, which is why you should use the best tape possible. I just used what I had on hand. It's a lovely squishy soft silicone, which is great for Jesmonite, because you can't really have a solid sticky, like a really solid mould with Jesmonite. It's very fragile on demold. But I was already excited that this was super soft and squishy, and that made me realise that the Jesmonite's gonna just pop out. Look at this. Ready to go again. Tape up those sides, fill it up again, you got yourself another mould. Will I do that? I don't know. I might wait until I've got that big chunky fat tape. All I did at this point was go around the edges, just neatening them up again. And I know you all mocked me for my huge scissors that I used in a recent video. So I figured I'd use the tiniest pair I could actually find. I don't know if it would make you any happier, but yeah, I did use the most gigantic pair of scissors recently. So here you go. We've gone to the opposite end of the spectrum, and here are some diddy ones. I'm just cleaning up the edge of the silicone mould, and honestly, I just need you to know, if I can do this, you can do this, okay? I'm actually going to find the proper tape, and I'm going to link that below as well. So if you do want to do this properly, better than myself, then that will also be linked below. The scissors will not be, but everything else will be. Yeah, I'm truly excited about this. I'm excited about having some silicone. I'm excited about the idea of making my own pendants and keychains from this mould. This is what I'm going to be using this mould for. I could in fact go on to make my own building tower block game, but I'm not going to do that. Yeah, here it is against a black background so that you can really see it a lot clearer. Definitely room for improvement. Use the proper tape, you won't get all the little wrinkly lines. And yeah, it's gorgeous, it's super squishy. I think I've evened them out beautifully, and I know that this is going to work for resin and Jesmonite, and they will be the next few videos using this mould. Will be resin and Jesmonite pendants and keychains, and I cannot wait. I'm so excited. Excited? Excuse me. This is the silicone rubber from Let's Resin. I will be linking it down below. I am a Let's Resin affiliate, so bear that in mind. I will earn commission from any sale. And yeah, I'm so grateful. I'm excited to use this mould. This mould, I will be showing a video just after Easter finishes. And yeah, I hope you can all wait, because I can't. I really can't. I love it. I really love it. Thank you so much if you've stayed this long. I really appreciate you all. I hope you found this helpful as well. It's a really easy way to make a mould with things that you already have indoors. Of course, the plastic board will be linked below. You could also use foam board that is covered in tape. So if you happen to have foam board, that's something you might already have indoors. But again, everything's linked below. I appreciate you all, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.